Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Here we are again, Tuesday Tea with Rhoda. I hope everyone is doing okay. Boy, the year is going by fast. It's already August. So, one of my favorite teas is peppermint tea. I bought this at 99 cents only. This was good. Dollar Tree has some good ones too. So, one of the things about tea is if you have tea and something happens, then you'll have something to drink besides just water. Today I was walking, but I didn't do too much shopping. It's very, very hot here. And I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with the variant. I think the variant could be very dangerous because we don't actually know what the variation of the corona could be. A lot of people are thinking, well, don't worry, it's not as deadly. Well, can't be sure. It's my new teacup. I'm still looking for tea party stuff. So I have a really good dinner planned for tonight. And I haven't made this for a while, but it's really kind of good. I want to make myself a tasty patty melt. This is like old-fashioned. When I think about, I want a patty melt, where would I go? I would think of Denny's. So today I bought this bread, 50% off, and this is the perfect bread for a patty melt. It's like a grilled cheese hamburger with an onion, with a hamburger and a grilled onion. If you've never heard of one, they're easy to make, and what's really great is it's like a meal. That's it. What are you having? I'm having a patty melt. That's it. So I put my butter on the stove to soften it so I could spread it on one side of my bread. You know, like a grilled cheese sandwich. Get all the edges. Today I was making peanut butter sandwiches, and I made sure I got the peanut butter all the way out to the edges. This is the same. So you guys, I've got almost 4 million views, which is a lot. That's why I bought myself this Man in the Moon ring. When I bought it, I didn't realize it was a weird, I thought it was some kind of costume, what do you call it, moonstone, but then, and I really kind of paid too much. I don't know if you can see it. See the man? Anyway, so on eBay, we sell for about $100. I don't know if they're worth that. I paid $30. And I thought, well, I like it, just before I realized it was goofy. And so I bought it for myself. I'll probably buy myself something else as soon as I find something that I really kind of want. I bought myself the blue video, or the blue ring, or purple ring, that you see that I pretty much wear every day. So I'm putting mustard on my bread. I don't have very much of this mustard. This was good. I bought it at Grocery Outlet. And I have really used it all up too. So that's good too. Okay, so I have mustard on the one side. I have butter on the other side. And then on the one side, I want cheese. So one of the things I'm shopping for is good cheese. This is $10 cheese that I bought for $5. That was a good deal. I found that one of the things that's really been a good deal is the Hello Fresh. Tomorrow is Hello Fresh. So I was going to put the cheese on the other side, but I messed up. Okay, so now what I made, and this is tasty. I'm going to be doing more crafts. Remember this? I just stuck this thing on my pot holder. Okay, so now here, what I have here is I have some hamburgers I fried with some grilled onions. So I thought I could make one big hamburger, or I can make two small hamburgers, and I think the two small hamburgers would be easier to handle with the onion. So this is going to be a meal in itself. If I eat the whole thing, I will be very, very full. Okay, so now I just want to grill this like a grilled cheese sandwich. It just takes a minute. So this is a very quick meal too. All right, life is good. And this will be my meal with my tea. I'm not cutting the crusts off of this. I don't think that's a substantial sandwich, you guys. I'm starting on the side with the, what's going on? I'm starting on the side with the cheese. Okay, so things are progressing nicely. So we have bread with butter on one side, mustard. I would have put mustard on the other side, but I was out of mustard. Hamburgers, and I grilled the onions. Okay, now I want to mention to you something. Okay, I bought this today marked down because this is one of the things that makes the Hello Fresh so good. It's all this 100% natural, grass-fed, Angus ground beef, no antibiotics, no hormones, and it tastes so much better. So I thought, I drive by Albertsons every single day. How about checking to see if they have any of their good meat on sale? Because in the HelloFresh, I got chicken cutlets, pork cutlets, the good ground beef, and so and also they suggest olive oil and butter. So I had that. So, okay, so that was awesome. So I'll be telling you, what I buy. So if you grow a garden, then, you can spend a little bit more on other things. And if you save the food out of or the seeds, then hopefully that's going to generate a free garden. So I want to mention, I bought this bread 50% off. I bought these pretzels, because this protects you from running out of bread. If you have soup and pretzels, these are big pretzels. I used to like to eat pretzels in a bar. I thought that was very yummy, but not going to the bars anymore. I ate these in my car, and chips could be considered stockpiling potatoes, and pretzels bread. I bought one of these 3 packs of peanut butter, and so in my car I ate chips with peanut butter on this good bread. So that was good. Then I bought this can of beef stew. These are good. I like these. You pop them in the microwave. They're great snacks, and I eat them cold in the car. So the idea was to spend about $5. And then I bought this pot deviled ham. You could switch out tuna. And so this would be a lot of food. And then if you have soup and you have lunch meat, you're not going to be running out of food anymore. Also, I bought another awesome thing. Somebody put this back at the check stand. And so I got this for $1, and it's like a lip liner and lipstick, and it's the colors I like. So that was awesome. Okay, so now let's see what is happening. Ooh, it's perfect. Okay, so life is good. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about inflation. Okay, so here's the patty melt. This is all you need for a patty melt. And then if you have ketchup, that's pretty much of a complete meal. So inflation, oh, I wanted to mention something. When I went to the swap meet, I didn't sell any of the silk blouses. And I can buy them very cheap at a thrift store, but I'm not going to be spending much. I have a bad feeling. And when I get a bad feeling, I guess it's from all of my years in a salon, I do not want to spend money. Yeah, a little bit for the stockpile. Maybe I'll stockpile some tea or something like that. But not spending much money. I don't think that is a good idea. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so my patty melt. Yummy. But you know, I have always bought the hamburger at Walmart. I just started doing this since the Hello Fresh. Ooh, yum. All right, take a look at this. So you have your onions and then you have your ketchup. So you're going to need quite a bit of ketchup for these big sandwiches. And the trick is, there you go, find low-cost meals that are not too expensive. I think when you buy the Angus burger hamburger, I think it was about $5. And so in the HelloFresh, they give you 5 ounces of meat. I ran into this barber I know, and I go, wow, did you lose weight? And he goes, no, I haven't lost any weight. And I said, wow, are you still doing the vegetarian thing? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, you're looking a lot younger and a lot meaner. You know, hairstylists and barbers got to stay, you know, halfway attractive. You'll earn more money. So I was thinking, you know, you see all these wealthy people and they look so lean. What they're doing is they're eating more vegetables. Okay, I want to talk to you about inflation. Inflation is when the price of everything starts going up. It's very hot. Okay, so the price of everything is going up. So as I told you, I was going to college for many years. When the price goes up, that usually means the consumption is going down. So we're seeing huge spikes in the prices of things, and they're coming up with all kinds of excuses. Another thing I've been buying is, they're saying the price of cola is going up. So that is not going to bother me because I bought 3 cases of this cheap Walmart soda pop. It's cheap. It's very cheap. 24 cans is like $6. That will taste good with my patty melt. So we're saying to ourselves, oh, inflation. What? Wasn't there inflation right before the Great Depression? Yes, there was. So the price goes up when the consumption is down. When the rich people suffer, the poor people suffer. So now some of these supply chain disruptions, cyber attacks, evergreen blockage could just be excuses for slowing the goods down, and because there's not as much demand and consumption. Okay, now just a word about the evergreen. By blocking the Suez Canal, whoops, it could have been bad driving. Just like when there was the overring on my good They made me very nervous, and when I get nervous, that is not good. By blocking the Suez Canal, they slowed the consumption of all the goods that went through the Suez Canal. When the consumption is down, the price goes up. Also getting more profits. Example of masking lower consumption worldwide. One explanation. Two explanation, insurance fraud. Okay, we all kind of know that the economy was very crappy even before the corona attack on Egypt. Could have been an attack on Egypt. Well, the thing about Egypt is they say very little of their money comes from the Suez Canal, but a lot does. Now they're saying if you see the currency collapse in Egypt, watch out. This is what the Muslims are saying. Contraband inside of the evergreen. That's a strong possibility too. Okay, so right before the Great Depression, there was inflation. We had the roaring 20s. People financed stuff on credit, like cars and everything else. And then they couldn't pay for the stuff they got on credit. And then there was all kinds of default on credit. And then we had the Great Depression. So now, okay, now once, this is the danger for the little guy. So let's say we're heading towards a depression. Some of us are saying, uh-oh, doesn't look good, and we're preparing as best we can. The problem is when you get into the depression, the actual depression part of the depression, which could be years, you cannot get out. We're seeing all kinds of other aggravating weather, storms, floods, droughts. So once you get into a depression, you cannot get out. That means you cannot find jobs, you're not going to have money. What if the government fails us, God forbid? So this is what we got to know, that once we get into the depression, we can't get out. Okay, now, they're saying, well, what's happening is the government or the powers to be are propping up the economy. Strong possibility they're driving the economies up, and then comes the crash. They're getting those stocks and everything as high as they can before the crash comes, possibly. Okay, so the inflation is driving prices up. So then what comes after these unsustainable increases could be a crash. Strong possibility. So now what we're seeing now is this upward trend of the stock market. So we know at some point it will crash. Now the problem with the stock market is it's driven by greed. People don't want to get out because they don't want to lose money. And then there's a possibility they could really lose some money. Okay, real estate is inflated, but now it looks as though people want to sell houses, like investors, and they cannot get loans approved. So who would buy these properties that they go, oh, well, the bank owns them? Buyers cannot get loans because they don't have a down payment large enough, or when you look back at the year before, did you have a job? Okay, they want to know you're going to be able to pay for this. They don't want your house. They want your payment with interest. Okay, so we're seeing an inflation of the real estate, like the stock market, and then comes a crash. Yeah, we're seeing a reduction of home loans. One thing I think would be a good idea, and that I'm doing, is buying a little silver. I've heard a lot of people go, that is a good stable thing to do, and I agree. Just make sure you actually get the silver coin or whatever you buy. I only buy the coins because, I don't have much money. All right, now we're watching the smart money. We're watching the big players. Like who? Warren Buffett pulled his money out of the airlines. That was a smart move, actually. Elon Musk, there was a pullback from the Bitcoin. Why? Well, he had to invest money in space. Possible. China, there was a pullback on Bitcoin. I forget what the reason was, but it was like, okay, now Reese Witherspoon, the actress, is now a billionaire and the richest female movie star because she sold her company, Hello Sunshine. She sold 80% of it. She retains 20% of it, which would give her $150 million still. It was an American media company founded in 2016, created content from television and features films, female lead stories, more female filmmakers. But that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about a massive cash out of $1 billion. And good for Reese. If it crashes and she got her $1 billion out, that's awesome. But she as well had a good reason for doing this. So we're watching for these pullbacks. We're watching for these big players. Okay, so now if you're not a millionaire, one of the things you can do is find some fairly cheap meals, stockpile food, plant a garden, save your money, attend to your house, attend to your vehicle. Okay, when I was on the way out of the thrift store that made me mad, I was able to get this cookbook. And I'm going to give you guys all of the recipes right now. Because there's not very many of them and they're good recipes. You can take a screenshot. I like all the recipes in the videos because I don't leave them up forever on Twitter. I'm going to post these up on Twitter, but I'm not leaving them forever. They're still feeding my videos that I made in the beginning when I lived in the real awful place with the balcony right off my neighbor's bathroom. That was awesome. A lot of people are doing well right now, but if there's some kind of a pullback or some kind of a sell-off by the big players, things might not be so good. The thing to remember about a depression is you cannot get out of it. This is how they're going to immobilize the population. Most likely at that time there will be a feeding frenzy at the little guy's expense. There always is. We're getting very close to the crash, I feel. Hope I'm wrong. I always go with the gut. So if you have that feeling in your gut like, uh-oh, start stockpiling your food and saving your money. In every recession and every depression, I haven't been through a bad depression, but I've been through several recessions. I've known several people that lost a lot of money on the stock market. It wasn't pretty. That was their retirement. I'm going to be going back to the swap meet when my garden is producing tomatoes, because I don't see how I would ever eat that many tomatoes. They're growing slow, and so I figure I could let somebody else have a few. So this is the necklace. This is the white Buddha necklace. I don't know what the difference between white and red is. I bought a red and a white. And then when I was at the swap meet, somebody asked me, do you have any small leather crossbody strap purses? Yes, but we're not selling them at the swap meet. I want to mention one more thing and then I'm done. I was telling my son, you know, when I'm in the thrift stores, I will hear them say, we can't take any more stuff. My brother said, you should buy a thrift store. And I go, forget it. And that's when I started the eBay. Now I have the Etsy. But if I did have a thrift store, I would take everything they brought and then I would pile it to the rafters and I would close it out so cheap someone would buy it on the weekends. I would get rid of everything. This is what I'm doing basically. I'm selling all the good stuff like the purse I just sold you on Etsy and eBay, and then I'm taking all the rest of the stuff to the swap meet and I'm closing it out. I'm selling it for $1, for 50 cents, for a quarter. Sometimes I just give it to them. And so then I for the last 2 years have handpicked the stuff item by item by item, but I don't want to do it that way. What I want to do is buy it all. When I have the chance, I asked some lady, do you want to sell your stuff for $30? And she said no. And I said, well, I thought I would give you the opportunity. I mean, if she was really broke, she would take it. So then back to what would I do? Well, I would sell the good stuff on Etsy and eBay, and I would close the other stuff out cheap at the thrift store or a swap meet. I mean at a yard sale or a swap meet. So if that gives any of you a good idea how to make a little money, try to find as many streams of income as you can. Like I'll be selling cans that are ready to expire for 25 cents. I'll be selling tomatoes. I'll be selling seedlings. Those didn't sell wet. I'll be selling junk, like household junk. I had a big box of kitchen stuff that I sold for $1 each. I sold also things, now this is another thing, you know, if you sell at a price that a vendor can't make any money, then you must like sitting in the sun and getting a sunburn. But if you sell cheap to the vendors, every time they see you coming, they're going to buy your stuff so they can resell it. Now the only place I'm taking the swap meet stuff or to a yard sale is stuff that I literally want to unload, like what we were talking about with the thrift stores. You have all this stuff, you can sell it. And why wouldn't you? Well, that would be a lot of work. Well, yeah, that's true. But it's a strong possibility we have a depression. So you might be thinking, well, where am I going to store this stuff? Well, you have to sell it at a cheap enough rate that you totally unload it, like I did. I went at 7 o'clock. By 9:15, the stuff was essentially gone. This will do. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all.